All right, ladies and gentlemen, put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat. Boys, this is a live courtroom update. Just came outside to give you guys an update, and I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, something is not adding up with this witness identified as Mia, who's under a pseudonym as she testifies. As I'm sitting in the courtroom, I am watching both the witness, Mia, as well as Sean Combs, as well as what she's saying to the ladies and gentlemen of the jurors. I'm going to give you the highlights before I give you the details. We're going to do a breakdown later on today, but one of the things that stood out for me is Mia's telling the story to, mind you, she's being on direct examination by prosecutor Comey. And what she's saying and how she's saying, I read body language. I covered enough trials to know when someone's body language is conveniently shifting when certain things are being asked of them. What I'm seeing with this witness, identified as Mia, is that when she's talking about certain things that would, I would just say, harm Puffy, she's looking down and her voice is shifting to a childlike response. But in mind, she has a deep voice. But when she's saying things about Puff that is kind of detrimental to the defense, her voice goes down to a low tone, and she sounds like she's a child. But immediately when she's going back into talking about general stuff, her voice raises up. She said something just a moment ago, and I was wondering why would she take that approach? She hides it. Now this is when she gets fired in 2017, March of 2017. She tells under direct examination, she tells the prosecutor that she hired an employment attorney. She claims, she alleges that this Puffy did not like the fact that she hired an employment attorney, and Puff basically accused her of stabbing him in the back. Then she says that during this negotiation with the employment attorney, there was a $10 million settlement offer. She says this. Think about this for a second. She says there was a $10 million settlement offer. So when the prosecutor asked her, so what ultimately did you receive? $200,000. And she received $200,000. The settlement was $400K. So how do we go from a $10 million settlement offer to a $200,000 settlement or $4K settlement? That's not adding up. How were they up here with $10 million, then they ultimately ended with 200 or 400K? Something happened if we to believe that she requested $10 million and only got 200,000. She also testified that under these several alleged sexual assaults, that she never told anyone, no one, in all the text messages that she sent out to different people, there was no mention of these sexual assaults. There was mention of, during direct examination yesterday, that he allegedly pushed her in the pool, threw an ice bucket, but it's interesting that there was a $10 million alleged negotiation, but ultimately sell for $200,000 or $400,000. Who asked for the $10 million? It's something about her body language and how she's delivering her testimony that doesn't sit well with me. And again, she made these allegations, but she's not a victim in this case. She's a witness. Why didn't the government charge that in an indictment, made her a victim and made her a star witness? Because you have allegations of 3 sexual assaults, at least 3. But she's just a witness who claimed to have been in a $10 million negotiation only to get half of what they ultimately sell with, which was 400K. She got 200,000, 400K. Something is not adding up. And she also talks about she got a email from KK, or let me get the name right. KK is his CEO. And I have a lot of notes, ladies and gentlemen. She gets a she gets a communication from Brian, who was an executive with Sean Combs' corporation, and they tell her that this show that is being shot to ABC from Revolt Films is not happening. Puff doesn't want to do films anymore. She was upset. She said she had to tell other people that was involved that it's not going down. Puff just don't want to do films anymore. So I always look at a motive or a motivation for why people tell their story, and it comes across as maybe, and again, this is my gut, and I got to go with my gut. Something's not adding up with this witness. I'm not getting that, and then she's sending him multiple texts after the alleged sexual assault that she loves him. She's saying this, and the prosecutor asked her, so in 2017, you send him an email, or 2016, you send him an email telling him you love him. And there were multiple times she said she loved him. When the prosecutor asked her, so why did you tell him you loved him in all these multiple text messages? She made some story, well, I won't say she made a story up, but she said that because she just wanted to keep the peace. That doesn't make sense. You're telling this man who sexually assaulted you multiple times that you love him in emails. You didn't have to say you love him in any of the emails. That wasn't your job requirement. Something's not adding up, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm on the fence about this witness. I am on the fence about this witness, and I don't know if she's telling the truth. But we'll find out when Brian Steele does his cross-examination. We want to find out first and foremost, where did this $10 million come from? And how do you go from a $10 million discussion to only $200K? There's usually reasons why that happens. And if she had the most powerful cards to play during this negotiation, she hires an attorney to get a decent severance package. But it only yielded $400K, $200 which went to her attorney. So ladies and gentlemen, this is far from over. Yesterday, the tide has shifted till today. It's a shift here. So we're going back in. She's been on the stand for about an hour and 15 minutes. But I had to come down because I thought that was significant. And I turned around, and I'll tell you something. I turned around and looked at some of the members in the press section as well as others in the public section, and they're giving you that something ain't smelling right here. Something's not smelling right here. Her voice is shifting, and it's kind of weird. It's like she goes into character when she says something about Puff. She doesn't cry, but she goes into character, and her voice goes down low. And then immediately when the next question is asked, then she's back up again. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not confident in what I'm listening to right now. That is actually what the story is. Ms. Combs, the sons are in the courtroom. They came in about 30 minutes after the testimony started, but KK's on the stand, and we're going to go into what happened this morning. We had about 45 minutes before the jurors came in. There was arguments being made by both Prosecutor Comey and Ms. Shapiro, Ms. Alexandra Shapiro, who represents Sean Combs, regarding an exhibit that they want to come in as it relates to transportation records that had to be redacted. There was some 401 arguments, but ultimately they downstairs. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm sorry. Okay, I appreciate that. I didn't want to pick that up on the Associated Press when I'm coming down. Yeah. Thanks for telling me, because you never see me out this way.
I know. They just pushed out.
No. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, I had to move off this. I was on the courtroom steps, so I had to move down. I'm going back in. I had to go around. Oh wait, hold on now. Let's talk. Now, we heard some very bad things about Mr. Combs, and he can't get around that. But this witness, I'm having a problem with this witness. I'm having a problem with this witness. I need to see what the bodyguard says. I need to see what KK says, if she's going to come in and if she's going to be granted immunity, or is she going to come in and take the fifth, because she has some pending lawsuits. But this particular witness, not getting a good read from this witness at all. Not getting a good read. I know you guys want to hear something different. I'm not going to, and you're probably going to hear other people talking about this later, but I'm not getting a good read from this witness right now. Oh, Diddy, listen, Diddy's definitely a bad person. You put your hands on a woman, you're definitely not good in my books. But we're talking about witnesses' testimony and what is the likelihood of someone telling the truth versus someone lying. So please do not encode what I'm telling you about this witness that means the government doesn't have a case. But this witness right here, I'm having a problem with her. I'm having a serious problem with her right now. And just listen to everyone else's reporting, and let's see how others read how this witness's demeanor is. Because the raising of her voice and going down low, it almost seems, and I'm gonna be honest, from my perspective and my viewpoint, it seems a little performative. It seems a little performative. All right, guys, I'm going back inside the courtroom. I appreciate you joining the live. I'll see you guys on the next update.